Bitcoin is continuing its dump, and on today's video we need to talk about this massive break of structure on Bitcoin right here, the most important Bitcoin charts that are telling us something about that next move, the Bitcoin bullish divergence, and many more important charts that are going to tell us something about what that next move is going to be on Bitcoin. Because is this the time we should be panicking right now, or is this the time we should be loading up? So I will be talking about this, the Bitcoin liquidation heat map that is currently indicating us that we're building up more than 3.4 billion US dollars worth of Bitcoin short liquidations on the top side. So make sure to pay attention, watch this video till the end, because I will be discussing the most important charts. So without any further ado, don't forget to slam that like button once again back above 1,000 likes, and let me jump straight away in towards the content. Because right now on the immediate short term, we can clearly start to see that Bitcoin indeed is creating, of course, that downward sloping trend line. And once again, yes, we got rejected from this exact trend line, and afterwards Bitcoin, of course, broke towards the downside and actually even broke below this very important horizontal level of previous support, which is right now flipping into resist. And what we really need to see right here for the bulls to be winning is, of course, to break back above this level of resistance and also break the downward sloping resist line to come outside of this trend here. Because currently what we're seeing is that indeed we're creating a clear downward sloping resist line, we're creating also a downward sloping support line, and basically Bitcoin is creating somewhat of a falling wedge pattern. And yes, I think that we are indeed going to be having a breakout of this region anytime soon. But in order for Bitcoin to be looking bullish in this trend any moment soon, we first need to see a break of the downward sloping resist line. So that is all I am currently aiming for. I hope to see that happening any moment right now. So if that were to be happening, I think that we could start to see a surge back towards the upside. And my targets on the top side are sitting somewhere around 71,000 US dollars if Bitcoin were to be pushing up higher. And just like I said in the beginning of the video, since we're right now having Bitcoin creating so much liquidity on the top side and also sitting around 71.6k, to be exact, I think Bitcoin is likely going to go there, because Bitcoin always follows the liquidity in the market. And now there's more than 3.4 billion US dollars worth of Bitcoin short liquidations sitting above us on 71.6k. So I think it's going to be inevitable that Bitcoin is going to be moving back towards the upside, going to grab out that liquidity, because you don't understand, 3 billion US dollars is a lot of liquidity, and Bitcoin is really going to be grabbing it out. And also, if you're looking at the weekly time frame, you can see that all the liquidity we're currently talking about is being built up on the top side. And yeah, it's just loads and loads of liquidity, and that is why it is going to get taken out. And while everything is playing out here, while Bitcoin is indeed dumping a little bit lower, we're seeing that the funding rate is starting to go negative, which means that, of course, the majority of the traders are actually trading short. And like I discussed many times before, every single time in a bull market, you do know that whenever the funding rates go negative, it is an historical buying opportunity. And yes, once again, this is such kind of a buying opportunity. The funding rates have gone negative and right now are a little bit below neutral. And yes, this is historically speaking just an enormous opportunity, because if you're right now looking at the structure on the 12-hour time frame, honestly, the structure is not looking all too bearish in my opinion. All we're seeing right now is Bitcoin still holding this support. And yesterday I spoke to a lot of people that actually are extremely bearish, that are saying, but wait, if Bitcoin breaks below 60k, the next support is 52k. This is the next support right here. But I say to them, you are going to get trapped, because I believe that this is the level we should be looking at, this support box right here. Why? Is because, first of all, in every single correction so far in this Bitcoin bull market, we tend to see 20% corrections as the maximum correction. And yes, if we were to be getting a 20% correction, it would be putting Bitcoin down somewhere to 58,000 to 60,000 US dollars. And I think that that is going to be the region where Bitcoin is going to be bottoming out here. Currently on the immediate short term, we're creating a bullish divergence, but I am very much aware Bitcoin can still go lower. And actually, if it were to be going lower, I think the opportunity is only going to become bigger. And I truly hope Bitcoin is going to come towards this second line here in this orange box. But like I stated many times before on the channel, I think that this orange box right here is the best buy range for Bitcoin, because what Bitcoin always does here, because there's a lot of untapped liquidity in the market right here, is take out the liquidity and then moves back towards the upside. So that is what I'm aiming, and that is what I'm expecting could be happening on Bitcoin. It takes out the liquidity and then it bounces back towards the upside, fooling all the short traders, trapping out all the short traders, and liquidating everyone once again on the short side, on the top side. So That is what I expect is going to be likely happening next year on Bitcoin. And of course, if we indeed break below the support, it is going to be looking on the 12-hour picture not so strong. I totally agree here. But you also have to understand that we create a lot of fake outs. And whenever everyone thinks it's going to be going down, we could get an enormous trap on Bitcoin, which is going to be eventually only more bullish for Bitcoin than bearish. And while all of this is happening, we're seeing that Tether is still increasing their market cap, which means there's more liquidity flowing in towards the ecosystem. And as more money flows into the ecosystem, I do really believe that this is just a temporary correction. And we see it every single time. As long as liquidity is entering the market, the macro trend for the market is towards the upside. So please don't get trapped. And yes, guys, if you want to be claiming a free $200 trade on Bitcoin or Ethereum, make sure to go to the link description of today's video, where you can find a link to Bybit and where you can claim a free claim a free $200 trade. And all you need to do is go to that link, sign up an account right here, press on register, and all you need to do for it is go to the link description, press on register to claim, and afterwards what you need to do is deposit $100 in your first 7 days, and we will get a free $200 trade, which is of course quite nice and which is literally completely free. So if you're interested in trading, check it out in the link description of today's video, where you can find a link to Bybit. But guys, while we're talking about this, we do know that we're just 1 day and 22 hours out before the next Bitcoin halving. The next Bitcoin halving is enormously close right now here, and I am super excited for it, because yes, whenever the next halving is going to be happening, I believe the majority of the gains are going to be found. But all we're seeing right now is maybe that halving correction we see every single cycle, and if you're going to get shaken out on the halving correction, you are going to be losing out on all the gains on the bull market, because historically speaking, the majority of the gains always come after the after the halving and not before the halving. So you're really getting trapped if you're losing out right now here. And on the weekly time frame, Bitcoin is just having an enormous retest of the previous all-time high, which I think is actually looking ultimately super bullish and not all too bearish for Bitcoin. So make sure to do your own research. But in this bull market, it looks to be that 20 to 22% corrections is the new standard for Bitcoin to be bottoming. So I believe that we're right now entering the region where Bitcoin could start to be bottoming. And yes, this lower low, it's making so many people afraid. But what I am expecting is that Bitcoin is going to take out this liquidity right here. And once we did so, then I think we're going to be going towards the upside. So I am ultimately still very bullish on Bitcoin. And I believe that it is a very big mistake if you're going to be too bearish right now, because Bitcoin goes the most exponential after the halving. If you do know your macros, you do know that this is the worst time to be exiting the market. So this was it for me in today's update video. All I want to be saying is please don't get trapped right now. Don't lose out on this enormous opportunity we currently have in the market. But anyways, if you learned something from this video, or if you think someone else can learn from this video, share it with your friends, slap on that like button, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.